All right, welcome, welcome. Good to see you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for bringing friends. I know Elaine, I think she said she's bringing somebody. I'm not sure if they're here, but thank you, Elaine.
Don't
And
know if she could make it, but I sent her all the info.
so good, so good, so good. So let's start with a big win from last week since we met. Who's got a big win to share?
I do.
All right, Sandy Martinez.
Yay. My daughter, first time she's ever moved away from me. She moved to Chicago. She's loving her life. I went there. I got to see her.
Uh,
She's amazing and created a great life. So she's flying on her own, little
That
bird.
is so good. That is awesome. That's a good one. I love it. I love it. So good. Who else has got a big win? I know Zinette did 1 minute what do you call that stand? 1 minute plank.
A 1 minute plank.
That's really good. That's really good. Who else? Who else is working out? Who else is pushing? Carrie. What's Carrie up to?
Oh, that's so funny. My computer froze, but I can share a win. So it's actually related, I think, to reading this book,
Hmm.
and it's not yet. No, it is out in their world. I really got this week that I create my life.
Hmm.
So I've been in action. I posted twice on social media, and have started writing again,
Mm-hmm.
and got out of my excuses and got in the gym and went to the sauna.
Nice.
Um, and I've started reading books about money because
Woo.
I've decided that I'm going to be a millionaire. And my parents' ideas about money are totally unhelpful to that end. Like what I've grown up with, what I think I know about money is
Uh-huh.
not it. So I'm reading The Millionaire Mind and Psychology of Money. And then after that, there's I Will Teach You to Be Rich, which actually gets into some specifics.
That is
So
so good.
yeah.
That is so good. Carrie is claiming it. She's the icon. She's being it. She's feeling it. And guess what? If you feel it, you're going to attract it, right? You're going to become it. And it's good. It's good. This is a good thing. Like, I was,
Oh,
yeah.
I
Go.
forgot. So I went as part of like really owning my own wealth. I went through my finances and I saved myself by just getting rid of stuff that I don't need. What was the total here? Some of this. How much money did I save myself? I think it was something like, shoot, it's not letting me do the thing. Um, but I think it's something like it was almost $10,000
Oh my gosh.
that I found in just like repetitive subscriptions and things that I
Yeah.
don't really need,
Yes. There you go.
that I wanted but don't need. So that's all part of it.
That is so good. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I mean, you gotta claim it. You're being it, and that's just how it works. That's a beautiful realization because listen, we could be great at what we're doing. We could be great at making books or libraries or chefs, but we could be still broke because we're not going to that higher side of us. We're not going to that, next level of wanting, right? Next level of what you want, and you claim it, and then you become it, then you're gonna attract it, and you have to let go. So that is awesome, awesome. Thank you, Kerry, for that. Sure, it helped somebody in here. Rona.
So I started my work with Trisha Burke. She used to be a TED Talk organizer. She works with Kate Winslet and the guy from The Sopranos, or used to. Just this incredible woman.
Hmm.
And I knew just from talking with her the first day that she understood what my creative voice was supposed to be because it interconnects with everything else in my life and what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So we started working end of last week, which of course then I made it ripple out to every other aspect of my life. So now I have big asks going on, and I'm setting up, I think, three different collaborative coaching things, and I'm setting up, uh, I've got 4 different speaking things and then 3 different podcasts all from last week.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy, right? Like you just go there, and we all need those outside of wisdom coming to us and help us. But it doesn't matter if we are coaches ourselves. So that is wonderful, Ron. That's really awesome. So cool. Nancy.
Yes, I have a ministry, and
Uh-huh.
I met with my board of directors yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And so we have a motion to produce and publish our first devotional.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it'll go to the production team in September.
Okay. That
Or
is so good.
it'll be given as a gift on Christmas and then public launch on January 1st. I'll share it with you guys, a digital copy.
Okay, yeah, I would love to. Is that the same ministry that you sent so many Bibles just not long ago?
No, that's a different one. I have 2 ministries.
Okay.
Oh, and I do have all the Bibles on hand.
Okay.
And I found out that it'll take 3 months to get them to Africa. I almost feel like taking them myself. And then, so it's taking about a month to get to these different countries,
Mm-hmm.
which to me is like, wow, man, in this day and age, but it is what it is.
Thank you for doing that. That's amazing. And that must make you feel good. So that's really cool. I didn't see the sequence, but we go John and then Lance.
Yes, so it's so I love the brain training. I help so many different people. I'm actually going to start doing a course for an entrepreneurs group, but I kind of miss the big stuff I used to do. I worked with CEOs, COOs for Fortune 100 companies, and I got to meet a guy who has an amazing vision. His goal is to bring in to train, because in Puerto Rico they don't have a lot of medical care. People get doctors, they leave. So his whole vision is to set up to 100 clinics. To train people, come in, train them, and then now they'll be able to provide healthcare for people throughout Puerto Rico. And so we're going to actually do the brain training for everybody, right? It'll help the students, it'll help the teachers, it'll help the people they're helping, but also to be able to help him accelerate the growth of the entire project. So we just started talking about that, but it kind of just opened up to me again, like a much, much bigger project that I can be part of.
That is so good. That's big. That's big. That's the thing. And keep rising, keep growing. That's amazing, John. I love it. I love it. Lance.
All right. I got 3 wins.
Woo! Ah, Lance.
Yeah, 3 great wins. My first win is I lost 5 pounds.
Woo!
I get me a personal trainer at 4 o'clock a.m. We just go at it. I got inspired by Zenith. They're pushing.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. And my second win, there was this property I wanted to kind of get rid of, and I finally get rid of it actually. Well, we're closing on this the 5th of next month, so I'm excited for that. So, and my third win is in the lending industry. I just loaned my 3rd loan, which is I'm doing hard money
Yeah.
for real estate. So I just give away my 3rd loan, which is from the time I opened the company, it's been a little bit off, but I'm excited about that. So
Hey, that is amazing. Put your hands together, man. You did it 3 times. You're closing. That means you can do it again, right? Just gotta get better and faster. Like so, that's
yeah,
exciting, man. Proud of you. That is so good. Like
thank
you
you. I like that speed. That's why I
Yes,
think
speed,
speed.
right? Russell Brunson, I was just speaking on one group when we were with him. He goes, look, you can get all the information you want. How fast can you execute? It's the
Yeah,
speed of execution. So now you've done these deals. How fast can you do another one and another one? So
another one.
it's
Yeah,
exciting. So
great one. Thank you.
really good, really good. And the working out, man, that's phenomenal. Yeah, Zinat is inspiring to all of us. I actually sent her some buddies her way this week to they're losing weight. So I said, hey, Zinat's doing that with ease. I want you to do it with ease. So I've realized a couple things this week. And if there's somebody else, please speak. Raise your hand or tell me you want to talk. That,
One more.
yeah, go ahead, John. What?
So Rowan and I are putting together a series of, we're going to call it Sunday Shift.
Okay.
So Sunday afternoons, she comes at it from her artistic perspective of neuroplasticity and resilience. We have my part. So we're going to start a What'd you call it, Rona? Webinar part podcast interactive.
It's going to be interactive. We're going to be taking different topics, but we're going to start from kind of the inside out. So how you're thinking of yourself from the inside and how it grows outward and how neuroplasticity and neuroaesthetics and everything else like that are the rubber bands that help connect creativity, and that means all areas of your life. So we'll
Yeah.
start kind of every other was it twi
Every
two
other,
times a
yeah.
month, and then and it'll just progress for 3 months. So it's pretty exciting.
Super,
Yeah.
super cool. Super
We'll
cool.
let you guys, we'll invite all of you guys, of course.
Yes, invite us on your debut and we'll help you make it a win, right? Let's support each other. That is awesome. That's really good. That's really good. Um, it's a big deal this week. I felt a lot of good things, and as I'm reading this book, read the first few chapters, listened to it twice, and the what I'm going to share with you is that just keep doing the work. You're meant for greatness. That's why you're here. This means something, and you have to take it to that next level, whatever it means to you. Every one of you is amazing and special, and you can grow a whole lot more just because that you're here. Okay, and there is something about us that's different, right? You heard it from the song. We need that fire, we need that spark. There's something about us. You're not average, and just gotta find that place that you belong. And this is just one of them. So I'm just gonna welcome all of you, welcome everybody that's new, that's here for the first time, and just excited to see where this book is gonna take us. Because U Square was phenomenal for me. Like, I don't want to put a number, but the business is doing well, health is doing good, kids are doing good, really cool. And a couple investments, another code, all kind of good stuff, right? And we did the science of getting rich. That was also phenomenal. I did an article on it this week. So really, really cool. And the other thing that I'm going to share with you, that what I realized, each one of you is a leader. You're meant to lead. That's why you're here, right? So you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff, and you're going to lead your team, your group, your student, whatever it is. So you are going to grow a whole lot more. So you take this and lead. So that's kind of what I came up with. Much few more wins, but the big one, I'll tell you, we were driving this morning, me and the wife, to Cincinnati, and we were just doing our affirmations together. And it was the first time after so many years we were doing affirmations about money, about health, like in the car, right? So if somebody would hear us, like, these guys are crazy, right? But we were actually affirming the money, affirming the goals in the car. So haven't hasn't happened before together being like that, but that's what we did. So it was a pretty cool moment. So so with that, welcome. We are gonna kick off as a man thinketh, James Allen, and I know Nancy is an expert, so I'm gonna introduce James Allen, and then I'm gonna ask Nancy to speak a little bit because she's a more expert on him than me. Um, Basically, if you've never read the book, it's all good. We're going to read it. We're going to read every page. And he is basically a philosopher, a writer, and a thinker. His work is back from the 1900s. I think it's 1903 when the book came out, As a Man Thinketh. He has published several others, but this is the one that really became a classic in the self-help motivational literature, right? It really shifted things. It really gave people hope. It gave them power to control their mind. And like, somebody can physically hurt you physically, but mentally it's up to you. It gave us that kind of idea. He laid the what is called as the groundwork, similar to what Napoleon Hill did, similar to what Norman Vincent did, but he laid a much more basic foundation, even though he was miserably beaten and hit and prison, and his family died in the prison there. Really, really rough life. But he left this legacy that it is, if you use it the right way, like, you have to be careful with this kind of work, okay? You don't want to use it to feel miserable and feel sad about the past. You want to use it so you can control your mind, that it doesn't matter what you've gone through, you can shift it to the side and still go where you want to go, so that you can take as much pain as you can endure, right? Like, nobody can break me with pain anymore. Like, I'm emotionally protected because I've done the work. So that's what I want you to take from it. Like, if you read his story and what really happened, it was a lot of bad stuff. So I don't want you to end up in that hole of misery and terrible and war and jail and poisoning them and burning them. Don't go there. Like, yeah, learn it, understand it, but understand that you're learning this book to build your emotional power so that you control your mind, you control your emotions, because emotions are going to drive your results. Emotions are going to drive your body to go into the vibration that you want. That's what I want you to learn out of it. And we're gonna, get a few more, but just be careful with that, right? Like I don't watch a lot of sad movies. I don't watch a lot of war movies because it can get you. So be careful with this book and some of the stories that are gonna come up. Use them as a leverage to make you say, if I can control my mind, I can reject that they can hurt me and just you move where you're going. So with that, Nancy, I know you've read the book. I love what you shared in the WhatsApp group. Go ahead, tell us a bit about James Allen before we start reading.
Yes, it's a very short book. I read it every year, and it's just so important because we can read it, but conceptually, do we really apply it?
Mm.
And so, yes, he did have a really hard life at 15. I mean, I didn't want to think about his life, but how he overcame it. But what I do want to share with you is that we do not have the luxury of toying, of playing around with negative thoughts. In fact, his title, As a Man Thinketh, comes from the scripture, Proverbs 23, verse 7. So what you think is what you are going to be. And so, like I said, you cannot toy with these negative thoughts. There's another scripture that says, that the minute you get a vein, which means empty, once you get an empty, useless thought, you got to cast it down. Cast it down means like let it go like if it was a burning pot or whatever. You can't. And so then just 7 quick things about this book. The thoughts will shape our reality. And the character, your character, whoever you are, is the sum of all of your thoughts. That's really something to think about. And then your thoughts will affect your health and your body. The way you walk and talk is a sum of your thoughts. And it's also the foundation of your achievement. You may wonder why some people just excel at everything. It's because they're thinking excellence. And then, so the high achievers. And then also, and this is so beautiful, and I do thank God for this ability that He's given us, is because we can nurture our dreams. Nobody else is going to do it for you. I mean, husbands and wives, that's one of the most powerful unit in the universe. Is a man and a wife thinking together, being in agreement. But even if you're not married, they can nurture each other's dream. But even if you're not married, like here in this mastermind group, what are we doing? Whether we do it consciously or not, we are nurturing each other's dreams. And why? Because we're both thinking, we're having this thought that we are going to excel and to be the very best that we can be.
So good. Thank you. So let's give Nancy a round of applause. That's amazing. You could have done a much better job than I could do on the book, honestly, because I've only read it twice and I listened to it twice this week and read the first 10 pages. So without further ado, so this is a mastermind. If this is your first time, welcome to the mastermind. Put the devices off, put all the ringers off. This is the time where we're just going to dig into the book. And the whole point is to get 1 or 2 ideas that can help you with your business. So with that, you're going to listen to it, you're going to see it on the screen, and you're going to get all the power. There's 15, 16 of us here, 18 of us into you to help you with your business, to help you with your life, to help you with your thing that you're working on. The point is what? What are you going to do with this information? Like how it's going to help you. So just look for that. Think of your goal. Put the goal in the image of your mind, right? That's why we're doing it. You're going to have that control. So let's do that. And please be present. All right. Let's be present. I'm going to pull up the book. And the first couple pages are just kind of, this is the version that we're reading. There's many of them probably out there, but this is the one that we're reading. I put it in the WhatsApp. I put it on the school. So you should all have it. This is the one. I mean, they're not going to change much. So you could see he's done few books, right? And I haven't read all. I've read some of the poems, pretty cool, but I haven't read all his work. So I'm going to read a little bit, and then we're going to pick one of you to read. This little volume, the result of meditation and experience, is not intended as an exhaustive treatise on the much written upon subject of the power of thought. The power of thought. It is suggestive rather than explanatory, its object being to stimulate men and women to the discovery and perception of the truth that. See, it's a beautiful word. It's the suggestive rather than explanatory. Its object being to stimulate men and women to the discovery and perception of the truth that they themselves are the makers of themselves. By virtue of the thoughts which they choose and encourage, that mind is the master weaver, both of the inner garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance, and that as they may have hitherto woven in ignorance and pain, they might now weave in enlightenment and happiness. James Allen. Powerful paragraph. We could read this for a week every day just to kind of get it, just to absorb it, right? The power of repetition. Few chapters, thoughts on character, effect of thought on circumstance, effect of thought on health and the body, the thought factor in achievement, thought and purpose, visions and ideals, serenity. And I think maybe once or twice ago, that's what I introduced you to, serenity. As a matter of fact, that's how I met As a Man Thinketh. It was with a class with Bob in the inner circle, and he brought serenity, and we read it together, and then we read it for 30 days, for I don't remember, maybe 50 days, I don't know. And then I started listening to the serenity chapter. It's the last chapter. It's a really cool chapter. That's how I got to know James Allen. So really, really cool. And this is the first chapter. As a Man Thinketh, Thoughts and Character. Who would like to read? Who's going to kick us off to read beautifully? Read nice and slow, deep, and take your time. There's no rush.
I'll go.
John, please. You prefer 2 pages or 1 page?
Just one page, just like 11 and 12, those two.
That's good like that?
Is that good?
For me, it's good. Is it for you? Is it good for you?
Sure. And then someone else can pick up. As a man thinketh, thought and character. The aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not just an aphorism, but as Nancy told us, that's in the Bible, right? Not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. As a plant springs from and could not be without the seed, so every act of a man springs from the hidden seeds of thought and could not have appeared without them. This applies equally to those acts called spontaneous and unpremeditated as to those which are deliberately executed. Act is a blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter fruitage of his own husbandry. Thought in the mind hath made us. What we are by thought was wrought and built. If a man's mind hath evil thoughts, pain comes on him, as comes the wheely ox behind. If one endure in purity of thought, joy follows him, as his own shadow sure. Man is a growth by law, and not a creation of artifice, and cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. A noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but is the natural result of continued effort and right thinking, the effect of long cherished association with godlike thoughts. An ignoble and bestial character, by the same process, is a result of the continued harboring of groveling thoughts. Man is made or unmade by himself. In the armory of thought, he forges the I'll keep going a little bit. Weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. By the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of the beast. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and man is their maker and master. Someone else want to pick up?
I will.
Okay. Please.
Of all the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul, which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening or fruitful of divine promise and confidence than this, that man is the master of thought, the molder of character, and the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself what he wills. Man is always the master, even in his weakest and most abandoned state. But in his weakness and degradation, he is the foolish master who misgoverns his household. When he begins to reflect upon his condition and to search diligently for the law upon which his being is established, he then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and man can only thus become by discovering within himself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being if he will dig deep into the mine of his soul, and that he is the maker of his character, the molder of his life, and the builder of his destiny, he may unerringly prove if he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial, everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining that knowledge of himself, which is understanding, wisdom, power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute, that he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. For only by patience, importunity, can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow. It cut out the last sentence. So, for only by patience, practice, and ceaseless importunity, interesting word, can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge, the door of the temple. So many good words, so many good lines. So, let's break it down. Let's get back to the beginning of this chapter. Thoughts and what stood out to you? Anybody?
Well, I really appreciated the words, the mind is the master weaver. I love that before we just started reading. And then again, like many of the other texts that I'm sure that we're all reading, including the ones that we've read here together, um, it's, our character is the complete sum of all of our thoughts. So I think that when I think of that quote, the mind is the master weaver, it really highlights for me the core idea of this first chapter.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm still trying to kind of get that whole idea. Like the mind is the master weaver. So the mind is, it just has legs and it just keeps going. And we got to get control, right? I want to be able to direct it. So who else?
I was going to say I like the focus on character. I think
Hmm,
character is a good way of describing what some people don't have. And
hmm.
also, I like the combination of power, intelligence, and love. It's a very interesting trio.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Rona?
I think it's expanding on the weaver of thoughts in realizing that we will have thoughts that we don't necessarily welcome,
Mhm.
and that uh, we are the masters that get to choose which thoughts we run with. And so our world is inundated with a ton of different stuff. We are hit with so many different stuff. And what our thoughts might come in a second doesn't mean we have to accept them, or that we have to employ them out back into the world. So the fact is that when we're weaving, we're also we make a conscious choice of what those thoughts are.
Yes. Yeah. We become more aware, we become more awake, then we can choose, and then we can accept and reject. I love it. Nancy.
What I,
Yes, something as simple as a thought, but yet something as complex as a thought. But something as simple as a thought is a creator.
Mm.
And then sometimes when we think about creation, we think about doing it physically with our hands,
Okay.
but we have the power to create externally by thinking about something, about meditating. And then, the law of attraction, you keep thinking about it, building it, and little by little, those things will come to pass. And be it good or bad. I mean, you can think bad things to happen as well. So that's why it's so important that we concentrate and think on good.
Mm-hmm. Concentrate thinking good. Always going to be on the good side, because like these next two paragraphs explain that a little bit. I'm going to dig into them as we'll let Carrie speak first. Carrie, go ahead.
yeah, so I hear a lot of things that, in my mind, this chapter points to. Um, that on page 13, where it says, that of all the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul, which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening or fruitful of divine promise and
Mm-hmm.
confidence that this, the man is the master of thought, the molder of character, the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. And then, as being power, intelligence, and love, the lord of his own thoughts, I hear a pointing to that of man being an echo of our creator, that we are made in their divine image to be a creator, and that as it goes on and points to man is always the master, even in his weakest and most abandoned state, that we rise and fall to the level of our thoughts as
Mm.
a foundation. And so, our thoughts give our words, give our actions, which then create our entire existence. And so, as conscious and as being the importance of being responsible for
Mm-hmm.
that,
Yes.
and to take the case not as a punishment, but as a being, really stepping into being an adult, right? That we are responsible for the way that our lives look, no matter what, not as a moral, like, impugnment of our character, speaking of character, but as a place to come from, as an access, that we have a say. And it starts with our thoughts as the foundation.
Yes. Beautiful. So good. So good. Thank you for that. So just like this is a very, very, very powerful couple paragraphs here. Spirit is high up and we are down at the bottom. We're in the physical and spirit is up there. And it's all energy from the top. So this paragraph is telling us that, it's all in the thought, the divine perfection, right? Spirit is perfect. So we cannot, as we get these thoughts and they come to us, he says, look at this, by the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. So if you control your mind, you control your thoughts, you stay on the good, you're going to get closer to that. But by the abuse and the wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of the beast. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and man is their maker and master. We're the maker and master. So it's very, very powerful, very, very strong. It's a big chapter. Man is always the master. Did you see that? Man, you're the master. Like, but most people don't accept this, right? Most people, we don't accept that our condition is because our thinking. Like, no, my mom and dad brought me here. I'm in this village. I'm in this town. I'm in this city. It's really not my fault. So you're just beginning to wake up. It is our responsibility. Now, somehow you got there. It might not be your fault, but once you start waking up and asking these questions, it becomes your responsibility. Was there any other hand? I don't remember. I didn't see. Lance, go ahead.
Yeah, what you were saying there was so powerful, though. It's really, I think the chapter is more related to this concept we heard Bob Proctor say a lot when he's always, I mean, it's coming from James Allen. He say, man, mind is the master power that mold and make, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men, we are mind. And forevermore, he take the tools, we basically can do that, take the tools in our thoughts, right? And shape it what we can bring a lot of joy, a lot of the way we want. And we can also destroy ourselves in the process with it. But it's all going to be based on our decision
Mm-hmm.
and to basically, like you said, control the thoughts, you know? Again, by saying, he said, we think in secret and it come to pass. Our environment, basically, it's what we make it of it. It's what, you know, it's what we're looking at. So that's pretty much the whole chapter here. And then one again that resonated with me, I was just reading, I went to church this morning, I was just reading that chapter. I believe it was Matthew 7:7. In this paragraph, he said, knock, the door will open, ask, and then you will be giving.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, search, and then whoever search shall find. And it's all in the Bible, as he said there. So it's pretty much self-explanatory, as he was saying there. And then if you kind of keep your thoughts in it, it's a, like I said there, it's a very, very powerful one. So it resonates a lot
That's
with
awesome.
the
Good.
part in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big chapter, and it doesn't matter if you haven't read it, doesn't matter if there's a lot of it we're missing. We are just becoming more awake right now to go back and spend time with these paragraphs. Spend time with, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What the heck does that mean? I better be thinking I'm amazing. I better be thinking I'm great. I better be thinking the best out of each and every one of you. And I should not be on the other side. That's what that means. Even if I'm failing and I'm not doing well, no, I need to still be thinking amazing, great, financially abundant, you know, right? So just wake up and start doing it that way. It doesn't matter if you're broke right now. It doesn't matter if you don't have any clients. It doesn't matter if you don't have any job. Just get a shift. That's what it's telling us. Not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance. So it's not just you, everything around you is going to become what you're thinking because we're creating. We're a child of God and spirit, and we're helping Him create. So it's going to attract things to you the way you're thinking. That's why sick people stay sick. That's why poor people stay poor. That's why people who have issues always attract issues because they're not changing their thinking. We need to help you change your thinking and things are going to change. Like whatever's going on right now in your life is because what you've been thinking the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So you got to start shifting on the good so more good starts happening. And in time, you're going to have more good happening. This everything around you is a result of your thinking. You might not like it because you might not be happy where you are. And that's the whole point is to teach us. Man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of his thoughts. It's crazy. Like, just in the first paragraph, right? So, Carrie, please go ahead.
Yeah. On the last page of this chapter,
Okay.
I looked up importunity, by
Oh,
the
you
way.
did? Thank you.
I
So,
did.
yeah.
So importunity is persistence,
Mhm.
especially to the point of annoyance.
Okay.
And I think, for me, this last paragraph really points to, especially in the seeketh, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened,
Hmm.
and only by patience, practice, and ceaseless persistence, right?
Yeah.
That it points to an ongoing investigation and to know yourself and to be willing to question your inner workings ongoingly, that there isn't necessarily an arriving with this. The effects of patient practice and investigation, utilizing every experience, even the most trivial, that it points to sort of an evolving, like the opening of a flower, like it continues to bloom if you take this way of being to heart that your thoughts are the foundation, and so you become in practice with that investigation.
Beautiful. Thank you. And it's amazing that it's giving you so much. And I'm glad that you looked it up. And because like we are gonna attract what we need based on where we are. So it's beautiful that you've read it and something's going on. That's wonderful. John, please go ahead.
Yeah, so the last, like Carrie said, the last parts of this chapter really kind of hit me. I print it out, I take notes, looking over it.
Yeah.
And where he says application, self-analysis, and experience. We can experience, but before we get to execute application, we really have to do a self-analysis. And that's what really hit me, right? So I can be going along fine. If I'm not aware of what I'm doing, I can either go down, I can continue, or I can raise myself up. And that comes from, I think, being aware of where our mind is going. The Marines have a decision-making model called the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, and act. And the quicker you can do that loop, the quicker you can get to a better decision. And so for me, what I'm going to try to do is when I find myself giving in a circumstance instead of my mind, I need an analysis. I need to break out of that and insert something positive to keep me going. And it's the same thing at the end where he says, understanding, wisdom, and power. Well, if we put equals there, understanding is more than knowledge, right? So we have knowledge, but it's how we apply that knowledge that makes a difference. And that's what gives us wisdom. And then that's what gives us power, right? And so I like the way he put those three together, because our power comes from wisdom, and that comes from applying what we're learning to keep going forward.
So good. That's right. And understanding is when you really understand something is when you're actually applying it. Just reading it, just knowing about, like, I'm just becoming knowing of things. I'm just the beginning. We're just knowing of it is not enough. Now it's, am I doing it? Am I behaving it? Is it transcending through me, right? Is it coming and go, and is it producing what I'm thinking, right? Because remember, a lot of stuff we think we're collecting information and we're trained to do that. And we have to learn to stop to do that and just embody what we want to be and start being it, doing it. That's when you know it. That's the understanding. Solomon said, in anything you do, get understanding. How do you get understanding? You study, you reflect, you journal, you do some meditation, you think deeper with a mastermind. Please go ahead. Where did it go? Where did it go? I think it was Rona. Somebody's hand was up.
Oh, I was just going to say that, if we're looking at it from a creator point of view, the first thing that you do when you're in a world of making is you pause. You pause to see what is surrounding you and the tools that you actually have, because if you just go into motion, you lose the ability to see some of the tools that you might have seen originally,
Yes.
or you that could have been used. And the fact is that when we pause, we can then perceive differently. So even what you first insert as a bad thought, when you flip the script on it, or when you take judgment out of that thought or that situation, you realize there's multiple ways of viewing it. And that means there's multiple ways of having an action from it.
So good. I know I'm going to be reading this chapter again and make some more notes. I'm going to, I couldn't find my book. It's somewhere in the two closets full of books, but so I'm going to print it again and make notes because I'm using the iPad, but it's not giving me what I want yet. But I want you all to think of your goal. I want you to think of your goal and put that goal on the image of your mind, like hold that image, right? And I want you to start owning it every day. Take that time as you're reading and understanding to own that goal, right? And know that with all your heart, this goal is going to come. You got to own it, right? And then I want you to feel it, right? You got to feel the thing. And it might be a relationship that you want. It might be money. It might be a business, but you own it, right? Hold that image. Know that it's going to happen. And it might be so far away. And it could be because it needs to be far away if it's an exciting big goal, right? It's a fantasy goal. I want you to feel it and start believing it as we go along through these chapters and learn these tools and tricks on how to use the thought to help you know what to do next. Because the whole point, I don't want you just to become expert in this stuff. I just want you to become more aware to know what to do next so that your business can advance. So you start holding that image, own it, believe it, show up like it, get that mastery in your business, become really good at what you're doing, and feel and believe. Now, a lot of you are not going to accept these ideas, and your logical mind is going to kick you on the butt. Just put it on the side. Say, no, park it for now. This is illogical. Don't let your logic and analytical mind kidnap you for the next 2, 3 weeks. Just put it on the side. Just accept the ideas and see where it's going to take you. Kim, go ahead.
You know, it really has me thinking about the thought and the importance. I think I just heard someone say there's no judgment. There is no judgment. It's important just to see the thought as it is and to be neutral. And I think that when we're neutral and we're not sitting in a place of judgment, then we're able to more readily create evidence for these new beliefs that we want to create for ourselves. So when you were speaking on the goal and having that image, in our mind, I think by doing this, and just seeing it, like we could see it, and then just hold the thought, right? Just hold the thought. It's just a thought, right? But if it's a thought that proves you know, the belief that we want to hold, then we're going to keep it, right? But if it's not, we can just let it float away. So I really enjoyed today's mastermind.
Woo! So beautiful. Thank you, Kim, for that. I'd like one of you to read what's been shared in the comments, unless there's something specific on Kim, and then we read the comments because there's some really amazing things in there. I just noticed, opened it up. So anybody else wants to share, and then we read the comments. Lance, go ahead.
Got a question.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Liz, got a question? Go ahead.
Oh, can you repeat what you said? I got observe, analyze, and act. I think I missed the second.
Oh, what I said when I said so first, or Kim, who are you talking to?
It was John.
Yeah, it's actually, yeah. So observe, orient, right? Orient yourself to the problem. Where are you in relationship to it? Decide and enact.
Mm-hmm.
So observe, orient, decide, and act. An Air Force fighter pilot, methodology that the Marines adopted. And I find if I can do that, I can observe, right? What's the problem? Where am I in this problem? How, and then decide to do something and then actually act on it.
Thank you, guys.
So good. In lesson 1, when I mentor folks, we find the goal, and then you learn to make a decision. You got to learn how to make a decision. And once you make the decision, the next step of that is taking the action. If you make a decision and you don't take the action, you're fooling yourself. So you got to make the decision, and then you take the action. And the action is basically the result of you saying, "Oh, okay, I accept this idea." And then you got to take the responsibility. So I like it how it kind of matches similarly to what John's talking about: observe, orient, decide, act. So, Lance.
No, yeah. What I was saying is something I'm experiencing actually too, while she was saying that is, I have this big goal, and as I have this big goal, it's something I keep saying to myself. So to keep my thoughts, since, um, especially when you come with the will, they will increase amplitude of vibration. And as they increase amplitude of vibration, the more you focus on it, the more you concentrate on it, the more you bring it to you. So I find myself, which is because I'm studying so much, I find myself, because of this big goal that I have, everything that not aligned with the goal, I kick it out. But it make me become stubborn in a way. It's like I don't want to see anything else but that particular thing. Even if it's a great opportunity, even if it's something that's gonna be good for me, but because of this goal that I have, I'm so locked in on it. Everything that's coming up, that's taking me, deviate me out of it, I find myself like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going there. No, I'm not saying that. And it's breaking it's like all hell break loose through my peers, to my people I'm dealing with and stuff like that. They're like, listen, man, you're not gonna listen anyway, you're not gonna take it anyway, stuff like that. It's like it make me become stubborn. So I'm experiencing that because of the thoughts. It's so many are happening, so many influences, so many opinions, so many things are coming in. And that's what I'm realizing because
Mm.
I'm locked in. So I don't know if you guys can kind of help me with that to know, because sometimes I'm like, it doesn't matter.
No, it's they. I think what you're asking for, you need to come to the mastermind, the business mastermind. Like you have to be at the right caliber to get the right ideas. You cannot accept ideas from everybody and anybody. And the things that are coming to you to make the decision, you have to be in the caliber of the group that's making those real estate decisions, that's making those business decisions. Like we're just reading a book, right? We're becoming more aware, but we're not experts on marketing. We're not experts on advertising. We're not experts on the real estate. So those things that are coming to you, how are you going to decide? Okay, you stay on your goal, but you need to bring those opportunities to the little smaller group with a mastermind that you hang around with and bring that up. And then their expertise in the marketing and this and that would help speed things up. Now, you should be able to do it by yourself by sitting around the table and have your advisors. Remember Napoleon Hills, Andrew Carnegie, Bob Rock, whoever you want your advisors, and you close your eyes and you ask them to give you guidance. They will give you guidance.
I
But
do that.
we're physical. We need somebody closer proximity. We need a master around us to help us. That's my recommendation. Find that business mastermind related to the thing that you want to get in and get in it. Whoever it is, mine or somebody else's or something that's going to help you. But anybody else? I think Rona was going to share something with you.
I think when our lives are truly aligned, we recognize that everything starts to become interconnected. So our physical form becomes interconnected with our sense of inquiry, and our sense of inquiry is then connected with our relationships. And our relationships are based off of our signals that our emotions give us. And then our emotions, of course, are driven by our relationships. And all of it's, of course, interconnected with how we feel about source. So if we start to look at all of those areas and see how they interconnect, it makes our choices a little easier because we start to see what's not in alignment anymore. So when you have a source of inquiry that really fires you up, sets you on fire, and some of your relationships are not necessarily in balance with that, you have to kind of ask and see the signals your emotions are telling you to go, well, that's going to give me choices. That's going to give me things that I need to address then so that I can reach that goal. But also, what is the importance of that relationship? You know, is that relationship more important than my goal? So they all interconnect, and you really have to every day address form, inquiry, relationship, emotions, and source. Because if you're not asking how they're interconnected, your choices and your life isn't interconnected.
Yeah, pretty good though, because there's a lot of noise out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you mentioned there with the signal, because at the end, like the book said, we are living for the body, for the soul, and for the spirit. You cannot feed one without the other one. So you got to balance by feeding each of these parts. But the noise, it's really, really loud. So you got to focus on the signal.
That was beautiful, Rana. Really, really good. Again, high caliber. Very, very nice. It's nice to see, and I could feel those who really have studied and know what they're talking about. So, really excited and grateful that you all are here, every one of you. So, like I said, just to be grateful, I want to make sure I want to pick somebody to read that haven't read maybe what's in the chat because really there's some good stuff, and then we'll finish off with a quick prayer. So, who would like to read what's in the chat? So, just open it up and scroll up and start from Nancy. There's only like 7, 8 comments, but some of them are really good. I just want to read them just to give you that respect. Anybody up for it, or you want me to read? Sandra, please. Yeah,
Sandra.
love to hear your voice. Go ahead, Sandra.
Okay. Hi everybody.
So Nancy wrote about Matthew 7:7-8, King James Version. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. God is on our side. And then Dr. Pauline wrote power, love, and intelligence. And we have the key to every situation to master the outcomes of our thoughts. And then Kim wrote, I also appreciate these words. Discovery is totally a master of applications. And Sabrina said, love this all and responsibility, our ability to respond, not react. Love that we think in secret and outside shows results of our thinking. Whoa, that's a good point. And then, so yeah, my little sidebar on that is just the fact that you can see people who are not thinking correctly. We can be energy without thinking, knowing without thinking. And then Carrie wrote, wisdom is the Holy Spirit, the divine feminine. Sandy wrote, don't let your logical mind kidnap you. Good point. And also, 6 women who courageously take a stand for love for themselves. It's all about love. And then Sandy says, I know there are 6 women would want love and will welcome a companion on the journey. I'm excited to share this beautiful future with them. Kim said, thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening and week.
Good. So good.
And then lastly, Dr. Pauline, we are all energy first and foremost. Keep moving and dancing with the right people. Because I know, Kamal, you wrote, you're forming a new group that we all need to join.
Thank you. Yeah, but it's going to be easier to share stuff and do things, and you're all going to be there. You're all granted to access and all that. So it's really, really excited to see what's going to happen there. So that's the end of this first lesson. Please read it again. Enjoy it. Thank you for sharing all that in the comments. The next chapter is effect of thought on circumstance. So my suggestion, what I do, I read the first chapter, then I read the second chapter, read the first, read the second for the next week. And then for a whole week, I'm repeating this thing until I get it, right? Repetition is the mother of learning. So that's what I would suggest. You do at your pace. You can listen to it if you want. And we go from there. So with that, we want to finish by reading the Success Club prayer. This one I use mostly in the mornings, but because you really mean a lot to me, we're just going to do it here, and then we'll be off for the night. So it's just 6 minutes after 6, so just a couple minutes. So I'll read, unless somebody really wants to read that haven't read. Who hasn't read that wants to read? Elizabeth? Elizabeth, you want to read? You have a good, beautiful voice, so your voice is probably better than mine. You want to read this, Elizabeth? Can you see it? Or Sabrina?
Is it in the book?
No, it's on the screen.
Not yet.
The screen is still the book.
Oh, it's still the book? Really?
Where?
Let me share. I don't know. I'm sharing multiple screens. Learning. Here we go. How about now? How about now? Do you see it on the screen?
There we go.
It's called 6 a.m. success prayer. I did that John would like to read instead. Is that right?
Yeah, but yeah, whoever wants it looks like Sabrina wants to read it, but as we read it, let's just take 30 seconds, just let's be here and just kind of think. And then Sabrina, you want to lead us through it? Go for it. So whenever you're ready, Sabrina, on mic, and yeah, I would love to hear your voice. Just be here for this. This is going to mean so much.
Today, more than ever, I find myself in the hands of God. This is what I have wanted all my life, from my youth, to serve, to contribute, and to make a difference. Today, I enter into the consciousness of abundance and plenty. I know that everything I do will prosper. I know that every demand I make upon the universe will be honored. What I want wants me to. What I desire is moving towards me. Today, I expect success in everything I do. Today and every day, I show up for myself with unconditional love. I show up for all the people who I am called to serve. Today is a very important day as someone's life will be touched and because I showed up for them. I am happy to challenge myself this way, give up something I prefer in exchange for something else, more magnificent and meaningful than my comfort. This is how leaders are made, and I am one great leader. The world needs me more than any time. And I choose to do this for the world. So help me God. Amen.
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 Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you all so much. Carlos, I haven't heard your voice.
No, no, sorry. Thank you. Thank you for the chapter. Just want to say this book is telling a different way of the history about other books.
Mm-hmm.
What they say, we become what we think all day, right? We have heard that phrase
Yeah.
many times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm new to the book, but since that's the way it's going, but I want to say thank you, everyone, for sharing, and I will keep learning from all of you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. And good to see you, Junaid, as well. You all have an amazing week. Be awesome. Remember, you can do this and go do something, do some big things, do planks, do push-ups. I want to see if next week if I can do 60 minutes, 60, what, 90 seconds of planks. Just be like Zinad, be very strong, all right? So take care, everybody. Thank you. Please join
All
the
right.
group. We'll talk
Thank
Bye,
you.
soon.
everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.